Hello and welcome to the lovely May team meeting. I'm going to go straight into it and crack on so I don't hold you up. So leaders, initially a reminder to tag any new TVs in the announcement on the top of the page for the raffle. So all new teamies need tagged in that. If you haven't done that, can you make sure that that's done for me? Can you also get the approval for us to recognise their achievements? That post isn't pinned. I will look for it and pin it back up there. So we just need the permission to be able to share their active and things like that we want to give them a shout out for. So if we can make sure that those are all tagged and done for me, please, and thank you kindly. So I want to say welcome to all our newbies. It's lovely that we have had so many of you in the first part of this month. What I wanted to do tonight was just go over a few things. So some of you that have been here for a long time will know the ups and downs and the dips that you can have and the peaks that you can also have in your business. So you've joined. What now? What now? So you have joined and hopefully started to advertise in your business. You've maybe been here for a few weeks or a couple of months and you've had that success. You've sold to your friends and family, and you may be finding now that you're having a little bit of a dip in your sales. And what do you do now? If you're just here and new, how do you get the people interested and interacting with you and buying from you? Okay, so just because you have a slower start doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to run a business. And if you have a high sales start, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be able to sustain that without some work and some effort. The thing that you need to remember is long-term consistency is what will keep your business going. I'm trying to turn my page. Press the button to continue. There we go. It's been on hold for a little while and won't turn the page. Okay, so long-term consistency is what you need that's going to keep your business going throughout the future of your business. So the people who, I've been here 4.5 years, and it's only by being consistent. So my customers know they can rely on me. They know that they want Scentsy, they can come and ask. There'll be an order going in because we've built that up over time. When you first start, people might be like, oh, is this gonna, am I going to be able to buy it off her in a couple of months' time? Is she going to do it for a little while and then is she going to disappear off? So you've got to build that trust with your customers. And the only way that you're going to be able to do that is to keep showing up for them. Okay. Learn how to follow up. So following up isn't sending a message and putting an order in what you want. We've got to build that relationship with them. So we are the first person that they think of when they want to come and buy some more Scentsy. Hopefully you will have stickered up or put a label on your waxes so they have all your details, especially important if it's somebody new who you don't really know yet. So if you have had a recommendation from a friend of a friend, or if you've got a party, if you've had a party, then that's when you're going to meet new people, and it's really important to have an impact on those on that night. So they go, oh, she's really nice and really approachable. So I know that when I need some more wax, I can get in touch with her, and that's going to be absolutely, fine to do that and to get my extra wax. There's a really, really high percentage. It's something like 70 or 80% of people that only buy once. Okay, and that is down to the not following up. So how do you follow up? So initially, when you deliver the order to the customer, obviously you've kept your customer updated. You've told them your other order's here or it's on the way. You arrange to go and drop it off or for them to come and pick it up. Remember that that is an option as well. So there's a system called the 222, there's 333, there's, 1, 2, 3, you can pick whichever system works for you, and in whatever format. So you can keep it in a paper folder form, or you can use these apps, the Amy app that you can use that will remind you and prompt you to follow up. It might be that on a Friday night, you go through all of your customers and figure out which ones are where and send them a message out. So your initial, once you've delivered, so the two, we follow the two kind of 222 system. So the first one, 2 days, you have delivered the order. 2 days later, you're going to check in with them and check everything is fine. Okay, this is not a sales contact. Okay, so you are going to reach out, something along the lines of, "Hi Louise, hope everything was okay with your order. Let me know if there's any issues." If it's a mini warmer, you can say, "Did you manage to get your mini warmer set up right? Remember, it shouldn't wobble, it should be quite secure on its base. And just a quick tip, you switch it on and off at the front, not the switch on the wall, or you might blow your bulbs. And once you can't smell it anymore, pop a little bit of cotton wool in, soak that wax up. Remember, the wax won't disappear. If they're used to candles, they'll expect that wax will go. The wax won't disappear, so just pop in one of those cotton wool balls that I gave you in with your samples, pop that in the bin, and then pop a new cube of wax in. A brief contact like that. You can start to build a relationship at that point. So if they respond back and say, "Oh, I'm actually struggling, I can't figure out, like how to put it together," or "It's wobbly, I didn't realise it shouldn't be wobbly, I was wondering." And follow through with those questions that they might have. They might just say, "Everything's fine, thank you." And that's, they've chose to end that conversation, and that's fine. When you have got the order off them, getting them into your VIP group is quite an important thing. So at that point, in that first contact after the 2 days, if they're not already in, that's the point where you can say, "I've got a VIP group, if you fancy going in there." I always point out, I say, I don't spam, that there'll be a couple of posts on there a day, but you'll hear all the news there first. Getting them in there is then securing them, so you know that they're agreeing then for you to contact them. So then the next 2 is 2 weeks. So after 2 weeks, you can then pop them a little reminder along saying, "Just to let you know that I pop my orders in mid-month and end of the month. If they've only bought 1 bar of wax, you kind of know if they're using 1 cube a week, if it's a mini warmer, or if they're using a couple of cubes, then you're going to be getting to that point where they might want to be restocking." So you can reach out to them, and again, you can kind of check in, remind them when you're ordering, because you haven't given them that information initially. But what you want to do is make it a personal contact. So for example, okay, let's use Louise again. Louise is your, she's accepted a friend request, and you can see her posts, and her son has been playing football over the weekend, and you saw that she was standing out in the rain. Make that as a comment. If it's a new person, reach out on their Facebook, like their posts, get that interaction going. But it's a good, sometimes what I would do is go and have just a little scroll through their personal page and just see what they've kind of been up to. I had a lady who was practicing how she was I don't even know what it's called, where you make all like the flowers and stuff out of icing for cakes. There's Sugarcraft, and she'd been, and it was like probably about 5 weeks before, and I said to her, like, started off, I mean, they were absolutely amazing, and I was quite kind of commented on that, and I was like, "Oh my God, you're so clever. I've always wanted to do something like that, but I don't think I have the you know, the skills, or I struggle with my hands because of arthritis, so I couldn't do all those little fiddly things. They looked absolutely amazing. It shows them that you've got a bit of an interest. Don't make it fake though. You know, and definitely don't be a spammy by just sending, I'm putting an order in, do you want anything? Because they're not going to appreciate that. They want to get, they will buy from somebody who they know, like, and trust. So you have got to work hard to build that up. The last one, so after 2 months, that is a check-in, as in getting that sale. That's the point where you're going to be reaching out and saying, are you ready for some more wax yet? I've got an order popping in. New catalogue has launched since you bought the last waxes. Do you want me to send you a link for the new catalogue so you can have a look at the new smells? Or I'm having a pop in at mine on Saturday if you want to nip along and smell some smells. If they've only bought off your recommendation, you know, encourage them, don't be shy. You know, or I can drop the testers off for you to have a smell of, and you can let me know. That way you can have them for a day or two, and then I'll come back and collect them. Anything along those lines. If at that point they haven't kind of really responded or anything like that, you can reach out and say, am I okay to keep, if you don't want anything, am I okay to kind of just get in touch with you again in another 2 months or something like that. But if they haven't then bought anything at that point, just pop them back in your folder if that's what you're using to follow up with them at that later point. Okay, so that's a brief kind of 222. There are lots of systems out there, and work what is good for you. So what we don't do is spam people. Okay, so we don't reach out and try and make friends with people to then have them accept our friend invite. You should only be inviting people to be your friend who you have some sort of contact with. And just because they accept your friend request doesn't mean that they accept unsolicited contact through their messenger. Okay, so be really, really careful, because you will get people who will be a little bit cross with you. It happens to me all the time on Instagram. I'm constantly getting, reach out to us for this, and it's usually like fitness stuff, and I'm like, do you actually even look at my Instagram? Have you actually looked at my post? When was the last time you saw that I did any form of exercise? Do you know I've had a back operation? You know, it's ridiculous, and you're just getting people's backs up straight away. So we don't spam. It's not how Scentsy does it. They want relationship building, is one of our, you know, core kind of values. So you have got some orders, you've popped some orders in, you've started to do little bits of follow-up. You look about and you see other people are potentially doing like a treat bag, or a scent of the month club, or like a lucky dip kind of bag. Be careful when you're building your business to start off with, and make sure that you don't devalue yourself or your products. It's okay to offer an offer. It has to be done privately on a one-to-one, or if you're doing things on a public platform, you could advertise a treat bag, but you can't advertise the contents if it's not corporate pricing. Okay, so I have been with Scentsy for 4.5 years. I do the Scent of the Month Club, and I occasionally do a £10 treat bag. What you want long term is customers who are going to buy full price product, because that's what your business is. How many people know that DFS, the sofa company, constantly 365 days a year has a sale on? People go knowing, who knows how much a full price DFS sofa is meant to be, because there's always a sale on, always an offer on, and it's like a bit of a joke, isn't it? It does devalue what they're trying to sell. That's their business. That's how they do business. What you don't want to do is have people knowing that they can come to you and go, oh, I don't really want to pay 61 quid for that warmer, but I really, really like it. Can you do me an offer? And then you want the sale, and then you're feeling bad. So you then end up out of pocket, or you lose your half price item because you're giving, you know, Kathy up the road a half price item every time she asks because you feel bad for saying no. Okay, so don't get yourself into a position where you feel like you have to constantly offer offers to be able to sell the product. This product can sell, and there's plenty of people within our team and in Scentsy in general that sell the product full price with very limited offers. Okay, if your customers are used to getting offers and you then suddenly stop it when you realise, right, I'm in this for the long haul, I need them to be buying all the new products when the new catalogue comes out, but they'll only buy it if I do an offer. They're going to then go and look for the next person who has joined, who will just offer offers and who will be gone. So you've got to make sure that your business is sustainable. And yes, we can treat our customers. I've got product because I've been in the company for a bit longer than you might have been if you're in for a month, or if you've only just joined today. So I might have scent circles that I can offer people if they pay £6 for postage. I would only advertise that as a one-to-one directly to them. That's something that you can't do publicly. Okay. So just make sure that you are building a business consistently, and not devaluing the products or devaluing you as a consultant. Okay. If you are doing any sort of offer, then what Scentsy says is 10% of the cost above is what you should be, no more than 10% of extra things, non-Scentsy things within the whatever you're offering. So make sure that you are pricing things up correctly and not exceeding that, because otherwise it's coming out of your pocket. Okay. Turn my page. So the first surge of customers will generally be your friends and your family. What do you do after that? So you've got to then reach out to those people who have bought off you to do referrals to get the newer customers coming in. Because we can now be going out and about, you can be booking parties and get your friends to then introduce you to their friends and their contacts. Adding people into your VIP group who might be interested in Scentsy, or their friend, they've expressed an interest to their friend, and their friend has then added them. Don't have your VIP group as a mass of just hundreds of people added in just for the sake of it, because you want the people in. It doesn't matter if you've got a VIP group of 70 people. If those 70 people have all bought off you, they are your customers. If you've got a group of 1,000 people, but only 80 of those have bought off you, it's a no-brainer. You're not actually having a valuable one-to-one kind of relationship building within that group. You're sharing, and people are just scrolling on by. Facebook goes, this person isn't relevant, stop showing up in people's feeds. Okay, so you've got, if you have a business page or you're on Instagram or anything like that, that is perfect for that. But your VIP group should be specifically customers who have bought, who you want to shower with attention, and who actually want to be within your group and see your posts. So at this, when you're trying to spread yourself a little bit further, you need to know your why. Why do you want to sell Scentsy? What do you want from the business? What is the outcome that you want in the end? What do you need? What does your family need? Okay, you have to know your why, or you won't have the want. Okay, And that obviously means if you have the want because of your why, you will be consistent because you know what that is going to then bring you back. Okay. So goals, off your why, you can have some goals. And a good saying that I like, okay, a goal without a plan is just a wish. Okay, if you want something, you have to think how you are going to get it. Focus on doing less better. Okay, I don't add an awful lot of fluff to orders. I will do the scent of the month club with a couple of little extra things in. I have little thank you packs that go out. Other than that, I tend not to do an awful lot. I do wrap each thing so it's handed over nicely, because of the time consuming part of that. Okay, so work out your time. You might have more time, free time than me. You might absolutely love just doing all. I mean, I enjoy it, but that might be your absolute, idea of heaven. But just make sure that tasks that you're doing are income producing. So samples are income producing because you're giving them to people who are going to buy off your recommendation. So by saying this is sun-kissed citrus, if you really like a fruity smell, you're going to really, really love this, try this. Don't just give out samples willy-nilly, okay? Not once have I put a post out kind of publicly, free samples, just ask me for them. I tend to give my samples to my VIPs. If somebody reaches out to me and is basically just after samples, I'm questioning why they just want samples. Who else are they asking for samples? If you do give samples out to other people in that way, make sure that you are following up on the sample, okay? So if you hand a sample out to somebody who, has just asked for it on Facebook, and you send that out to them, pop it through the door, pop it in the post, but you never actually ask them, how did you get on with that sample? What did you think of it? Have you got a Scentsy warmer? What did you warm it in? If you are handing out a sample without getting some details and then following up with them, you might as well just lift the bin lid, pop that sample in the bin, because it's not income producing if you're just handing them out willy-nilly. Make sure that they are working for you. We quite often, when we get to the point of needing to spread further, have a little dip in our own faith in ourselves and how well we can work our business. And it's okay to reflect and think, oh God, I've handed out all them samples and not even asked if somebody liked it. Or I've handed out them samples, I've just, willy-nilly given them out and I've never even taken details back. They've walked away from me and that's it. And I don't even know how to get in touch with them. It's okay to feel a bit about something like that, but what you don't do is then punish yourself and stay in that like, oh, I'm just not going to do that anymore. Work then to make that system better for you. Okay. 80% of your success comes from showing up. Okay. Habits. That is the thing to get into, a habit. If you have a habit, then you think about it automatically without even having to think about it. So Sunday night, I know that I need to schedule, because I schedule those across all platforms, my Monday morning little motivational things. So Sunday night, after I've been here, I sit down and I then do that post ready for Monday. Focus on a few things and do them really, really well is another thing. So, for example, if you are rubbish at booking parties, focus on how you get better at that. If you don't have anybody who has a Scentsy Club subscription, focus on that. How can you do that? You show them your Scentsy Club. You pop a flyer in with all of your orders explaining Scentsy Club. If somebody does have a Scentsy Club, reward them for sharing theirs. If you've got a scent circle, give them a scent circle. If you've got, like a few spare samples, give them the samples. Show them what they're missing out. Make it work. Make it a habit. Make it bring in that money for you. So focus on the 3 things that are going to do and work the best for you. Okay, so when you are working your business, social media has to play a part of it. There's lots of people that work their business, but they still will be working their business as hard as you are if you're using social media. Instagram, for example, okay, if you have a set kind of theme or whatever, when you've got to post for that to run and for that to kind of look aesthetically pleasing, when you need to post in your stories. What happens if you're having a bad day? Make sure that you show up for your VIPs consistently. You cannot post on your Instagram stories and it isn't going to go anywhere. Unless your main customer base and your sales are coming from that platform, if your main income is coming from your VIPs and from following up, focus on that and let that bit kind of not impact you. Just make sure that you're consistently for your customers. They might see your stories and the things like that, but they will know when you're showing up for your business in your VIP group. So make sure that you are not just sharing flyers and the horrid things like, don't be political or, things like that. Keep it so it is getting to know you, but the family, all of those things, anything that isn't going to make somebody have a judgment on you or an opinion. A lot of the things at the moment, COVID is a big talking point, isn't it? And lots of people have lots of views and opinions. Sure, you know what they all are. It's not something I would ever get into with people. But if you are very, very vocal about things like that, other people are going to have a view and opinion, and other people are then going to make a conscious choice or decision on what they do with that information that you share. I have gone through a phase of unfollowing people who are very, very strong opinions that I have chose to protect myself from. And people will unfollow. Your business, your VIP group should not be focused around very, very strong opinions. As a personal view, if that is you, then you do that. You do you, I'll do me. But just be conscious of it is a Scentsy VIP group. It's not your political or views platform. You've got your own personal page. You've got other places to do that. But yeah, let people get to know you in the good way. Let them get to know your family. Share things that aren't Scentsy related. And just let them figure out who you are as you're trying to build those relationships with them. So insights on social media: post when your customers are present. So Sunday night about 8 o'clock is probably one of the busiest kind of peaks for customers within my group. It's one of the busiest times for people to see my posts and things on Instagram. The Instagram and Facebook tell you when your people are about. And if you're completely ignoring that and posting, so if my time is 8 o'clock at night and I'm posting at 8 o'clock in the morning, who's going to see it? If I've looked, I know that my busy time, so I'm doing myself a disservice if I'm not putting my focused posts out at that time. Yeah, so I think that was about it. Obviously, what I was going to do on the team meeting was have you ask questions and things around that. But if you do have any questions, ask them below. I can answer, other leaders can answer, other teamies can answer those questions. So just pop them below. And I look forward to seeing what questions you've got. But that is it for now. And I will see you next time.